Praise God. This morning our lesson is coming from John chapter 21. John chapter 21 verses 15 through 16. We're going to use for thought this morning. Do you love it? Let us read the word of God. St. John 21, 15 through 17 says, "So when they had dined, Jesus said to Simon Peter, 'Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me more than these?' He said unto him, 'Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee.' He said unto him, 'Feed my lamb.' He said to him again the second time, 'Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me?' He said unto him, 'Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee.' He said unto him, 'Feed my sheep.' He said unto him the third time, 'Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me?' Peter was grieved because he said unto him the third time, 'Lovest thou me?' And he said unto him, 'Lord, thou knowest all things. Thou knowest that I love thee.' Jesus said unto him, 'Feed my sheep.'" Amen. Amen. Now, this is kind of a part 2 follow-up from my last message of power and authority. In that if you don't love him, if you don't trust him, if you're not committed unto him, you're not using your power and authority. So we first got to put first things first.
Amen.
We got to get it right.
Amen.
We've got to, a song writer says, fall in love with Jesus.
Amen.
We've got to love him with that agape love, that unconditional type of love. Not that brotherly love, I know you too. Not that kind of stuff. But we've got to have the true love of God with us. Let me set this up for you. Before the 15th verse, we know that Peter had denied Christ when he was being crucified. He had denied him, and it was revealed unto him that what Jesus had told him, you would deny me before the cock crows thrice. Peter recognized when he did it, oh God, I have denied Satan, I have denied him. And so, being human, when you find yourself wrong, there's a type of shame or embarrassment or guilt. And so we want to make sure we repent of that when we find ourselves wrong. We want to repent and get right. We don't want to hold that burden of guilt and shame upon us. But to set the stage, this setting, this scripture is after the crucifixion, after the resurrection, but Jesus is still showing up on the scene before he has gone back to God. So Peter has already denied him, but Jesus has risen from the dead, shown himself to them. The angel has told the women to go tell the brethren and Peter to meet me in Galilee. So it's kind of, and this was after. So Peter is, in my mind, satisfied that Jesus has forgiven me because he brought me back into the fold. So here we are thinking everything is all right. And that's the setting that we have now when Jesus is questioning Peter. But I want to pause for a minute and talk about how we backslide, how we sin. We're Christians, and we sin, and then we just walk right on back through the doors of the church and sit right back in our seat without repenting and think Well, I'm all right because I came back to church. There is some soul searching you need to do. Once you backslide, once you sin, once you denounce Christianity, you can't just walk back in and get your same seat just because you want to. You've got to build that relationship back up with God. Now, I don't know if Peter said, Lord, I'm sorry. You were right. I denied you. I don't know if he did that or not. I hope he did. But I know that Jesus made it all right when he said, bring him too. Tell Peter to meet me too. And the angel told him, Peter, come too. Because there's room for repentance. There is room for forgiveness. If you love him. If we love God, then no matter how many times we need to love him enough to say I'm sorry. To him and to our fellow man. But this is where we are today, that Peter had done these things, and now he's back with the disciples, and Peter and some other disciples, and before verse 15 you see the names of the other disciples that were there. They had been fishing. And Jesus shows up. And when they came ashore, he had prepared a place and had the fire going, and they ate. So the 15th verse says, so when they had dined, then Jesus began, they just sitting around talking. Y'all know how we do. We ate, we food, we just relaxing and having conversation. And the questions began, and Jesus began to ask them, do you love me? And Peter said, the first question was, do you love me more than these? And Peter said, you know what? Well, as we are, of course we're going to say, yeah, I love you, without even thinking about it. And Peter had already proclaimed his love for Christ, and, oh, we won't ever leave you. You ain't going to leave us, all these kind of things. But when trouble came, he didn't quite love him enough. He didn't love him with the right love, right type of love. They began to deny him. We remember when Peter denied Jesus, when they started accusing him, and he even got kind of huffed. Amen. When they said, yeah, you the one that was with him. I don't know what you're talking about. But he already said, no, I love you. And now he's saying again, fast, flip mouth. Peter was always a flip mouth. I love you. You know I love you. Do you love me more than your buddies here, your fishermen buddies? You love me more than them? Do you love me more than your co-workers, your disciples? Do you love me more than your brand new car? You love me better than that nice house you got? You don't know invite me in. Lord, you know I love you. And they talked a little while longer in my mind. And Jesus asked him again, Peter, do you love me? God, you know I love you. Then, the third time, Jesus asked him, Peter, you love me? Now wait a minute. I told you, you're asking the same question. You know all things. You know I love you. You're getting upset now. Yeah, about it, just like Peter did. Typical Peter. And how many of us today? If I were to ask you, everybody in here that loves you, to raise your hand. Everybody raise your hand, right? If I ask you, everybody in here that loves Jesus more than they love the person sitting next to them, most people raise their hand. Okay, if I say, everybody that loves Jesus, raise your hand again. Now look, I done raised my hand 2 times. I ain't finna raise my hand no more. God already know I love him. I ain't got to raise my hand to prove I love him. That's the way Peter did. Ask me the same question over and over and over and over again. But I have learned in my few years of being on life, being on earth, that if somebody asks you, the same question over and over. They want you to think about that answer you gave. Because something ain't quite right, or they want to make sure that's the answer you want to give. The final answer, is that your final answer? But they want to make sure, so we want to open up our hearts and think about this thing. Because Jesus was preparing Peter for his future.
Amen.
And so he asked him the question, do you love me? Well, feed my lamb. Do you love me? Feed my sheep. That's a work. That if you know the life and journey of Peter, of any of the disciples, of any of God's children we have today, it becomes a journey of troubles, of circumstances, of situations, of duties, of ups and downs. So if you are going to feed my sheep, there's some things that's going to come upon you.
Amen.
That nothing
Amen.
but the agape love of God will get you through.
Amen.
So before, we stand up, oh, I'm going to be saved, I'm a Christian, oh yeah, I go. But the first time a little trouble comes, you deny him, you turn around, you take him down. Jesus was preparing Peter that, I'm going away, I won't be here walking with you, you won't be able to see me, you won't be able to come and have a conversation with me physically. So you need to know what you're doing. You need to love me enough. See, sometimes we tell people things. I can give you my testimony. And somebody will say, I don't believe it. That was just a trick of the devil. The magician did it. Or that was just going to happen. Oh, the wind blew that tree over. She didn't speak to that tree and it fell over. The wind blew that over. When they know the sun was shining. But they won't believe what you say. So you're going to have to stand firm on what you say. You're going to have to love. See, if you love God, you're going to trust him. And you're going to trust him to do what he said he would do. Yeah. Even when nobody believes, when they think you crazy, you're going to have to speak what God says speak.
Amen.
You're going to have to do what God said do when everybody's saying ain't going to happen. What do you think Noah was doing?
Amen.
It's going to rain. It's going to rain. That man is crazy. Why are you building that big old ark? It ain't never rained from the sky. It never rained. Why are you building that ark? Come on, it's going to rain. He done lost his mind. And the more they talk, the more we build. Building it, just like God said. We're going to have to love him enough to trust him that when he says it's going to rain, we carry it umbrella. The sun shining, hot, no rain in the forecast. But you better carry that umbrella. Why you got the umbrella in the sunshine? It's going to rain. It's going to rain. God said it, I believe it. And I'm preparing for it. If you love him, if you love him, you trust his word, you're going to do what the word says.
Amen.
And see, this journey that we're on, people, just because we say we're Christians, just because we say we're evangelists, just because we say we're bishops, don't mean the world is going to like us. It doesn't mean they're going to accept any and everything that we do. The troubles are going to come, especially when you brush hard, especially when you plant new ground. Yeah. There's going to be some denials. There's going to be some naysayers. But you've got to love God enough that you're going to do what he said do. Amen. That you're going to stand firm and stand your ground. And this is what he was preparing Peter for. That, Peter, you said you loved me before. But when it came time to stand with me, you said you didn't know me. I don't need nobody on my side like that. That's going to run when the times get hard. I need somebody that's going to stand firm and stand up and be like Stephen.
Yes.
Yeah, boy.
If it costs my life, I'm going to stand right here. Do you love him? And not lip service. We have got to be able to, and it's not that kind of sisterly brotherly love, but it is that unconditional that if you don't ever speak to me again, I'm still going to tell you what's right. Unconditional love. If you don't ever do another thing for me, I still know that holiness is right.
Amen.
It's not that you scratch my back, I scratch yours kind of love. It's not that what's in it for me kind of love. But it's that if I don't ever see you again, I love you. And I love you enough to come to your rescue. I love you enough to tell you the truth. That agape love that Jesus had for us before we were even born, before we were thought about in our parents' womb.
Amen.
He loved us.
Yes, Lord.
And he died for us.
Amen.
And that's the kind of love. And in order to go through anything, see, the world is so advanced. They will set traps and tricks for you. Ditch has been done. And you don't even see it. They're so smooth with it. Cunning. Steal, kill, and destroy. But if you love God and you're following his plan, nothing will come upon you that he hadn't warned you about. And if you're not listening, God is so good to us. If I'm not listening, he will send somebody to tell me. So if you get caught, it's because you just wanted to get caught. You wasn't listening. You wasn't paying attention. You didn't want to hear what he had to say. Not that. Our love for each other is surface. You know, I pick my friends. I can't pick my family, but I love my family. That's innate. That's natural for me to love my family. But loving someone that I don't, and I appreciate Trinity because when you walk through the doors, it's just that bloodline connects.
Amen.
Whether you saved or not,
Amen.
I love you because I have met you and you're one of God's children. And you have an opportunity. There is always an opportunity. Peter had been one of the early disciples that had walked with him and talked with him. And oh Lord, I would never. Because he prophesied that. Not me. Not me. And the first chance he got. There you go. So we so quick to say, oh, I love you. But do you really love him? Do you really love him? How far are you willing to go? For me, what are you willing to do? For me, for the gospel's sake. To upbuild the kingdom. Like Stephen, if I lose my life, I'm going to stand firm. I'm going to stand firm on what we know. And that was the message that Peter was trying to get across, that Jesus was trying to get across to Peter. You've got to have that unconditional love that when a little trouble comes, you're not going to sit down. When a little hard time, when somebody says, oh, they lied, it didn't really happen. But you stand firm. Now we don't argue with people, get all out of whack. But we need to stand firm on what we know and what we believe.
Amen.
And the love of God in us.
Amen.
And do you really love him? With that agape love that even if I have to stand by myself, even if I have to go by myself, even if they call me holy roller, even if they call me crazy, she's crazy for doing that. Now how in the world she believed that God has spoke something into existence? I mean, we have witnesses throughout the Bible that have stood firm on his word because they love him and they trust that his word is true. Yeah. It's true. And the other Sunday I told you that. They said, I am persuaded that he'll do what he said he'll do. I'm persuaded that he is, and we talked about it in Sunday school this morning, he is the authority. He has proven who he is. And so we have to love him and trust him that he's going to do what he said he was going to do. Daniel, thrown in the lion's den for doing what's right, for standing his ground. And I tell you, about every day, I'm thrown in the lion's den. Or it may not be no natural lions in there, but we got some two-legged lions roaming the earth. And slob coming on their mouth. They're so hungry to eat a Christian soul. But Daniel said, I'll go. I'm going because I'm going to pray to God. I'm not praying to no little bitty God. I'm not praying to no idols. The Hebrew boy said, if he don't deliver us out the fiery furnace, I know he can. He's able to, and that's the conviction we have to have. Is that I'm going to pray 3 times a day. I'm going to pray when I want to pray, when I feel like praying. Not because man said I can't pray. I'm going to do what I know to do because I trust God to take care of me. Hallelujah. Esther. I love Esther. Esther is where I got my breakthrough from. And Esther said, I'm going. At the time, you couldn't come into the inner courts to see the king unless he said, okay, come on. If you did, they killed you. But if you came in without permission, then Esther said, I'm going. And she wasn't going for herself. She was going for her people. For her people. See, we can't be selfish about this thing. When God gives us a mission, sometimes we have to deny ourselves and do for others so that they will see the God I serve, he is able. And he will keep us. Praise God. John was banished to the Isle of Patmos. Out there by himself. They wouldn't want to be by themselves all the time. Talking to him. But we put up with these things, we sacrifice these things because we know the reward, the benefit of trusting God. God let the birds feed him. He is able to do what he said he would do. Paul aside, bound in jail. Hallelujah. For doing what God told him to do. Go heal the sick. Lay hands on his preach the gospel. And because they cast the demon out, and the people couldn't get their money for telling your fortune, they'll put them in jail. And I'm telling you, some people will be put in jail for telling their God. And this year, this day and age, people will bound you down. They will make you think that you're crazy, lock you down, bound in chains for doing what God has told you to do. But you're doing it out of love. Because you love him, you're willing to go through. You better be willing to go through. Well, you better check yourself and see if you really